Sometimes you see stuff in games, it's just weird and hits you the wrong way at the wrong time. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 strangely creepy moments in 2020 games. Starting off with number 10 is Marvel's SpiderMan Remastered, specifically the boat NPCs. So one day your curiosity gets the better of you and you decide to try to get closer to one of those boats you see in the distance around New York. Well, you swing out over the water, you switch to camera mode, and this is what you see. Now, the boat NPCs are extremely low in polygons and have very, very strange textures that do not have proper eyes. I mean, they have spaces for eyes, but they're not there. This is something you could find back in the original version on PS4 in 2018, but thanks to the improved texture detail in this version, ooh, it's worse. It's something that you were never really supposed to see up close. But the developers knew that someone was going to check them out because they have a little sticky note on them reading, "Did you miss us?" So they knew exactly what they were doing. Those trolls. At number 9, in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, well, there is something wrong with the children. Like, to say the very least, there's something weird going on with the kids in this game, and it's got a lot of people freaked out. Like, for the most part, there are normal children, and these children even seem normal at first glance, but if you take a closer look, you start to notice how weird some of these little freaks look. Like, their faces look screwed up, like they've been overly squashed and stretched in a character creator, and some of them really have that 1,000-yard stare look to their eyes. You know, the one where it's just like, oh, you are looking inside of my body, not at me. What is it that you see, child? And this is due to some form of a glitch Ubisoft has talked about at this point and is claiming they're going to fix it. But some players have also reported kids doing creepy stuff in the game, like having their heads twist around, which they already look weird enough, you know? Because, you know, kids in video games already look kind of creepy. The Uncanny Valley particularly affects kids for whatever reason. But the ones in Valhalla with their misshapen heads and their dead-eyed looks really take things to the next level. At number 8 is Animal Crossing New Horizons Ica's Island. In the new Animal Crossing game, you can visit other players' islands, and some of them are pretty damn weird. Animal Crossing really can be kind of creepy in its own way sometimes, but some players have really gone above and beyond to craft some spooky worlds, and the one we're talking about today is definitely one of the strangest and creepiest. We'll include the code in case you want to check it out. Like, it's not the most outright scary, but there's other islands out there that are more horror-themed. This one, though, called Ica's Island, which was first made in Animal Crossing New Leaf and was ported over to this game, is a bit more dreamlike in its presentation. It's just weird, objects are scattered all over the place, put down in geometric patterns. The central house looks normal at first, but the second floor really gives off a haunted house vibe, like, check out the children's drawings, a little creepy. Further in the island, there's what looks like an abandoned lab, and it just gets more bizarre from there. Another house is filled with observation equipment, and it looks like it has a holding cell in the basement. It's not all creepy, there's some goofy stuff too, like this fancy library filled with crabs, and this astronaut playing piano. If you get deep enough into the island, though, you can find a house that's identical to the first ghost house, but now all the lights are out and the drawings upstairs have been blacked out. It's definitely more like strangely creepy than scary, but this island knows how this cute little town building game can be pretty sinister looking if it wants to be. And number 7 is the Carbuncle summon from the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, yeah, the remake has intentionally creepy moments like the train graveyard and everything about Don Cornero, but the thing that's truly strangely creepy is the Carbuncle summon. In previous games, Carbuncle was depicted as kind of a strange rabbit creature, a little alien looking, but otherwise fine. Bit of a combo of that, a fox, and a little bit of etherealness, I guess. Like, Carbuncle wasn't even actually originally in Final Fantasy VII. They added it to the remake as a pre-order DLC, but I can't imagine anyone seeing this thing going, oh my god, that's why I'm gonna pre-order. I gotta have that. But yeah, it's a Pomeranian with a giant forehead. To borrow an overused joke, it is most certainly a 5-head. And the realistic visuals just make the exaggerated parts stand out more, and it make it really creepy. It's a weird looking thing. Like, I don't know, maybe you think it's cute, but a lot of people compared this thing to the original design for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. You know, trying to be both realistic and cartoony at the same time, which doesn't work at all, even a little. Fortunately, it was nowhere nearly as important for Carbuncle to look right in Final Fantasy VII for it to be good as Sonic Although in fairness, they did actually change Sonic when people complained. And number 6 is map bugs in Flight Simulator. You know, the new hyper-realistic, frankly, completely amazing Flight Simulator. A lot of the more famous bugs related to the map in it have been fixed by now, but they still count as some of the creepiest moments of the year. Like these giant obelisks that pop up from time to time, or these giant sinkholes you can find sometimes. Honestly, there's so many weird visuals you can find in this game. Like, for instance, the Queen's Palace got turned into an office building because the AI mapped it that way. So did a plane. Like, it's a really immersive and frankly beautiful game most of the time. So when you see landscapes jutting out at weird angles or cars driving up the side of buildings, it's gonna throw you off. A lot of it's really funny. Like, I laugh at it pretty hard, actually. But some of it's weirdly creepy, especially if you find it on your own. At number 5 is Crash Bandicoot 4, when the bad guy flirts with themselves. Like, this is a small thing, and it's played as a joke, but that doesn't make it less creepy. It's less in a scary, creepy way, but more of an ew creepy way. Like, the plot of Crash Bandicoot 4 involves time travel and dimension hopping, and eventually one of the bad guys, Dr. Entropy, ends up teaming up with himself from an alternate dimension. So now you have to deal with 2 Entropies, one male and the other female, and, well, they're really into themselves. It's a bit uncomfortable too. Like the lip biting and stuff, like they've nailed it as far as like how people act when they're into each other. But like this is a single like entity, just 2 instances of it from different dimensions. Is that weird? I don't even know. It weirds me out though. The protagonists act weirded out too, but that does not ease the tension. It's kind of the ideal strangely creepy moment because it just comes out of nowhere. It's very strange and definitely creepy. At number 4 is Black Ops Cold War's creepy Reagan CGI. Yeah, it deals with some creepy themes like government outreach and mind control, but it's definitely Ronald Reagan that takes the cake for the weirdness. In the opening moments of the game, there's a scene where the Black Ops boys meet up with the president, but there is something off about him. He's pretty deep in the uncanny valley, let's just say. Which, if you're unfamiliar with the uncanny valley, it's that phenomenon when something looks close to realistic, but the more realistic it is without actually being realistic, the more you notice what's off about it. And this is one of those situations. Like, the animators really tried their best, and the money is definitely on the screen, but it still looks wrong. He just looks like an over-detailed cartoon, and he just gets creepier the longer you look at him. The Cold War campaign is actually really fun as far as Call of Duty campaigns go, so I don't know why they decided that Reagan's waxy head was the thing they had to put in the trailer. It's not as bad as the creepy little girl from Medal of Honor Warfighter, but hey. At number 3 is Sackboy A Big Adventure, the post-credits stinger. It's a game about Sackboy, the cute little mascot from the Little Big Planet games. These things are about as kid-friendly as you get, but there's one thing that just popped up that's weird. I mean, it's probably supposed to be creepy, but it feels really out of place in a game like this. So the main villain is this dude here called Vex. He's the king of nightmares, but they're mostly non-threatening nightmares. You defeat him at the end of the game, you get a happy ending, credits roll, blah, blah, blah. You probably expect some kind of post-credit scene, but this one, it caught us off guard. It's just a black background, then Vex's head appears from the shadows and he says, "See you in your nightmares," then disappears. Like, describing it doesn't sound that scary, but for a kid's game, you'd think they'd lighten things up like with a joke or something, but it's just the bad guy being a little creepy, and then game over. I've got to imagine this will give some kid a nightmare somewhere, so it's not something I thought I'd say about a game like Sackboy A Big Adventure. And number 2 is Journey to the Savage Planet, specifically the commercials. This one came out all the way back in January. It was mostly forgotten about. It's not a bad game, but there's one thing that really stands out, and that's the commercials. Why are we talking about commercials in what looks like an exploration game set on an alien planet? Because, I mean, look at them. They are insane. Like, look at this one. This is for a thing called Meat Buddy. It is a joke, but look at it. That is a nightmare. When they're not throwing grotesque images at you, they're bombarding you with these creepy CGI puppet people that look like stock animations from some bargain basement 3D software. These commercials have like a really Tim and Eric vibe that's completely disconnected from the rest of the game, but I guess that's also why I remembered them, so mission accomplished. And at number 1, the 13 remake, all the glitches. The many glitches. Like, NPCs glitch constantly, they get stuck in the scenery, they just shuffle around, or they'll stand there and do nothing. On top of that, items disappear, people disappear. You kill dudes, they ragdoll in I mean, I didn't even know how to explain this. The visual bugs are seemingly nonstop, and the game is just an unintentional nightmare. The original 13 game still works and looks good today, so on top of being basically pointless, the remake is completely broken. It's so broken that it actually starts to get creepy after a while. Seemingly nothing works how it's supposed to. Sometimes the game gets straight up Silent Hill about it too, like when enemies' bodies start twisting in strange random directions. Like it's a spy thriller, but it's secretly one of the creepiest games of the year. A quick bonus too, it's hard to talk about creepy games in 2020 without mentioning Bugsnax. The game where like Muppets eat bugs that look like food and it changes their body parts into food. It's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it besides bizarre. Taking one of these puppet looking guys and completely transforming their body into some mishmash of like food. It's strange and like after a while it can get pretty creepy. I played it for a while and I suddenly kind of came to the realization, wait, this is really weird. But what do you think? Leave us a comment, let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. The best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Do not, under any circumstance, forget to click the notification bell. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.